NFL free agency just beginning, Philadelphia might be interested in a trade for running back Austin Ekeler via the Chargers. Also, Jacoby Brissett, Philadelphia narrowing in on their future backup quarterback, and another Eagles defender is no longer with the Eagles. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Tuesday. Nothing's really happened today. After Philadelphia made, the one big move of officially bringing back Jason Kelce, they haven't done anything yet. Now, if they do anything new, make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, because I will have a show covering that whenever it happens. But right now, though, we need to go ahead and start with the rumor mill, and that is the trade of Austin Ekeler. Now, there has been no official word that Philadelphia has submitted a trade request for Austin Ekeler, but that hasn't stopped Bleeding Green Nation and many people on Twitter from saying this deal should happen, and honestly, it's not a bad idea. So here's the article, Bleeding Green Nation, should the Eagles trade for Austin Ekeler? How about this? Quote, the Eagles could lose both Miles Sanders and Boston Scott in free agency, but the team could have some interesting options in the coming days, including Chargers running back Austin Ekeler. The running back was reportedly granted permission to seek a trade after talks for a contract extension fell apart. Ekeler is 27 years old and is coming off his second consecutive season with over 1,500 total offensive yards. He finished the 2022 NFL season with 204 carries for 915 yards and a career-high 13 touchdowns. His production in both the ground and passing game is kind of the versatility the Eagles look for, just about every position, but particularly at the running back. Now, the connection here is this. Nick Sirianni was the wide receivers coach for the Chargers in 2017, Ekeler's rookie season, and the Eagles head coach has talked about the running back several times since coming to Philadelphia. So there is an option here about possibly going ahead and making a trade for Ekler. The problem is you got to pay him once you trade for him here. Adam Schefter says Ekeler's due $6.25 million in 2023 and is scheduled to be in the last year of his contract. So this would be a trade and then signing of Austin Ekeler, which again is not really Howie Roseman's forte in terms of running back. Sure, he did do it with Jay Ajayi. He didn't extend Jay Ajayi. He didn't give Jay Ajayi a brand new contract after trading him in the 2017 season. Jay Ajayi was basically let to play out the remainder of his deal, and then he was gone. And so Philadelphia restructuring Ekeler's deal would have to be a team-friendly deal in order to make Philadelphia even remotely interested in trading for him. And so while I'm give this the thumbs up, I'm all for trading for Austin Ekeler. I think he'd be a great addition to Philadelphia, and honestly, maybe a little bit better than Miles Sanders, more of a bruiser in the middle, not super physical, but more physical than Sanders to pair alongside Kenny Gainwell. I just don't know if it's going to happen. Now, you could make this move if A, you don't think there are any other good running backs on the free agent market, which we've debunked. There are some really good ones we've talked about, David Montgomery being one. Jamal Williams probably going to be back to the Lions, but still some good names out there. Kareem Hunt, you guys have seen that. But if you don't like any of those players and you don't like any of the people in the draft, aka you don't want to spend number 10 on Bijan Robinson or number 30 on Jahmyr Gibbs, then a trade for Ekler could make sense. So I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, if it does, we'll cover it. Have you watched this show? Maybe he already signed somewhere else. Sorry, I can't be live 24/7 throughout the day, but we'll keep an eye on this one because I'd be very interested, curious what you guys think about it down below right now. Okay, the other big story of the morning from Aaron Wilson at @AaronWilson_NFL on Twitter says the Eagles might be kind of narrowing down on their future backup quarterback. Quote, Browns veteran quarterback Jacoby Brissett has drawn interest from teams including Buccaneers and Eagles. Others at start of NFL free agency per league sources. Passed for 2,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 picks, and rushed for 243 yards, 2 scores last season. We've talked about possibly, replacing Gardner Minshew and finding a backup quarterback in Philadelphia. And while the draft is where I would go, they only have 5 draft picks. And so Dorian Thompson-Robinson, it can't really be a priority when you don't have a 5th-round draft pick, right? You have 2 7ths this year alongside your 1, 2, and 3. And so you kind of got to go to the free agent market. And Brissett is a little bit more in the mold, I would say, of a Jalen Hurts than where Gardner Minshew was. Now, he's not a running quarterback like Hurts is, but in terms of the available free agent quarterbacks, Brissett makes some sense. He's a very viable backup. And Philadelphia has shown every year since Carson Wentz blew out his knee, they've wanted to have a viable backup who could come in and win you playoff games, including Nick Foles, and obviously in the past, Gardner Minshew. And so I'm all for this. The question is going to be money. I've seen some interesting deals earlier today. Taylor Heineke going to the Atlanta Falcons, like a $14 million a year deal. Philly can't really afford that, so they got to find a way to either create more cap space, which shockingly they haven't done for the Darius Slay or the Lane Johnson restructuring, but they got to be able to afford Jacoby Brissett as well. And so while I do think this one would make a ton of sense, I don't know if they can afford him. And that's kind of the issue that we're seeing and why Philadelphia has been quiet is they're, one, waiting to see what C.J. Gardner-Johnson does. As of filming this show, he's not gone anywhere, and the fact that he hasn't been signed to me is good news for the Eagles. But they also still need to restructure deals. Jalen Hurts needs a new contract. Lane Johnson should be restructured. Are you going to trade or restructure Darius Slay? This is why it's been a little quiet the past couple of, I would say, 24 hours, or really the past 24 hours, and why no moves have been made. But I do expect some more things either later today or tomorrow, so subscribe and stay tuned for that. Okay, quickly mentioning here, a couple more slots available for the Thomas Mott March Madness Challenge with our friends at TFM. It's a fantasy sports betting league where you can bet on all the March Madness games kind of individually, and the top 10 winners will get a prize cash payout, depending on how many people are actually going to go ahead and join. Each person that joins, we add 50% to the league pot size per participant. How you join is all in the description box. The link is on your screen right now. Go ahead, follow the instructions, and join the March Madness League that I'm going to be hosting, and I'm going to be in via our friends at Viget. Okay, we'll go ahead and get to who they have lost to go ahead and wrap up today's show. No surprise here, Marcus Epps is leaving Philadelphia to be a Las Vegas Raider. Interesting signing here. 3-year contract worth $12 million, $8 million guaranteed. Pretty good deal for Epps, who, wasn't special last year, but was definitely, worthy of one of the 32 starting safety jobs in the National Football League. He was the Eagles' third leading defender, or third Eagles defensive starter to leave Philly on the first day of NFL free agency. The Birds lost T.J. Edwards to Chicago and Javon Hargrave to the San Francisco 49ers earlier in the day, and more departures could be on the way. And so you get the movement of Marcus Epps. You also have Andre Dillard on the move, as Andre Dillard finally has a chance to be a starting, really, left tackle in the National Football League, and good for him. Had it not been for Jordan Mailata, he would have been just fine for Philadelphia. Former first-round draft pick, according to NFL insiders Ian Rappaport and Mike Garfolo. He is signed with the Tennessee Titans, a 3-year contract worth up to $29 million. Pretty fair deal, I would say. Tennessee gets a really good left tackle who just never really got a chance to play because, one, he got hurt early, and Jordan Mailata is fantastic. And so off goes Dillard. I was hoping he would sign somewhere where he could start, and looks like he will go ahead and be the starter for what is going to be a very interesting Tennessee Titans team. So we'll keep an eye on this. Obviously, as Philadelphia still has plenty of internal free agents who have not gone anywhere as of filming this show. Where's Boston Scott going? Where's Fletcher Cox going? What's happening with C.J. Gardner-Johnson? James Bradbury? Are we going to get any of them? Are we going to sign one of them? None of them? I don't know. But I know that this is the best place to follow for all the NFL free agency news, and so be sure to go down and subscribe. Also, click the notification bell. We're approaching 10,000 subs here on the Thomas Mott Show. We're like 300 away. So if you guys want to help me get to 10K subs, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that, as it is going to be a very interesting, let's just say this, very interesting next couple of 24 hours. Hopefully, deals get done. Give me some contract restructuring first, free up the cap space, and then go get people. It's that simple, Howie, right? He'll figure it out. I have full faith in Howie Roseman. You guys should too. I'm Thomas Mott. Crazy Tuesday, NFL Free Agency. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.